The Stoic Compass radio show, a clear path through a noisy world.
Welcome back to the Stoic Compass. I'm Jim.
And I'm Ellie. Today we're talking about water, the element that might be the ultimate Stoic teacher.
Water is a Stoic teacher. I mean, it just sits there being wet.
Does it, though? When's the last time you saw water actually sit still?
Fair point. Even in a glass, it's got that whole molecule vibration thing happening.
Exactly. And that's just the beginning. Water is constantly teaching us about flow, surrender, adaptation, persistence. Bruce Lee famously said, "Be water, my friend." But the Stoics understood this centuries earlier.
So what's the first lesson?
That all life begins in water. You, me, every person listening, we all started floating in the womb, weightless. No anxiety about the future, no regrets about the past, just being.
That was a simpler time. No bills, no emails, just vibing in amniotic fluid.
Right? And maybe that's why the sound of waves feels like coming home. Some part of your nervous system still remembers what it was like to be completely held, completely safe.
Is that why those white noise apps with ocean sounds are so popular?
Probably. We're literally trying to recreate our first environment. It's not just nostalgia. It's cellular memory. Your body remembers what your mind has forgotten.
That's actually kind of beautiful and slightly weird.
The best wisdom usually is both. But here's where it gets really stoic. Water teaches us how to flow before we even understand what holding on means.
Okay, break that down for me.
Think about a river. It encounters a boulder. Does it stop? Does it rage against the boulder for being in the way? Does it post angry tweets about the injustice of boulders?
I mean, if rivers had Twitter, they absolutely would.
Okay, fair, but they don't. Instead, the river just goes around. It finds another path. It doesn't take the boulder personally.
But I do take boulders personally, metaphorical boulders.
We all do. That's the problem. We encounter obstacles and we make them about us. Why is this happening to me? Why won't this thing move? But water just adapts.
So the Stoic approach is to be more like water, flexible, adaptive, not taking everything personally?
Yes. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this constantly. He'd say the obstacle is the way. Water proves this literally. When it meets resistance, that resistance becomes part of its path.
But water also has this other quality, right? Like when it's blocked, it doesn't just give up, it waits.
Yes. This is such an important distinction. Water doesn't force, but it also doesn't quit. It's patient. A crack in rock might take years to widen, but water just keeps showing up.
So it's not passive, it's persistent.
Exactly. There's this misconception that going with the flow means being a doormat, but water can carve through stone. It's gentle and powerful. That's the paradox.
The Grand Canyon wasn't carved by someone aggressively attacking rock with a sledgehammer.
Perfect example. It was carved by water just consistently doing its thing for millions of years. Patience plus persistence equals transformation.
Okay, but here's where I struggle. You're telling me to be patient and persistent, but I've got deadlines, responsibilities, a life that demands I make things happen now.
Right. And that's the modern tension. We live in a culture that worships force and speed. But water teaches us that some things can't be rushed. You can't force a flower to bloom faster by yelling at it.
I mean, you can yell at it, it just won't work.
Exactly. And yet, we spend so much time yelling at metaphorical flowers, trying to force outcomes, control timelines, make people change on our schedule.
Guilty as charged.
We all are. But imagine if you approached challenges like water does. Not, how can I force this to happen, but where is the path of least resistance? Where is this already wanting to go?
That requires a level of surrender that feels scary, honestly.
It does, because we've been taught that surrender equals weakness. But water proves that's completely wrong. Surrender isn't defeat, it's wisdom. It's trusting the current.
Let's talk about the emotional side of water. Because we have this instinct to go to water when we're hurting, right?
Yes, this is so universal. We cry when we're overwhelmed. We take long showers after bad days. We walk by the ocean when our souls feel heavy. Why do you think that is?
Because water is cleansing, healing.
Yes, but it's more than that. Water doesn't judge what you bring to it. You can dump your grief, your rage, your confusion into the ocean, and it just receives it. It doesn't ask you to be articulate or composed.
It's like the ultimate therapist. Just there, listening, not trying to fix you.
Exactly. And here's something beautiful. Your tears are literally the same salt composition as the ocean. You're not separate from water. You are water mostly.
Wait, how much of me is water?
About 60%. You're basically a sophisticated water balloon with opinions.
That's both scientific and devastating to my sense of self.
But don't you see how beautiful that is? When you cry, you're not being weak. You're being water. You're doing what water does. It cleanses, it releases, it flows.
So crying is just water being water?
Yes, and there's no shame in that. The Stoics weren't about suppressing emotions. They were about not being controlled by emotions. There's a difference between having feelings and being hijacked by them.
So a Stoic could cry but wouldn't, spiral into despair about crying?
Exactly. They'd observe the emotion. I'm experiencing sadness. My eyes are producing tears. Without the meta-narrative of, I'm broken, I'm weak, I shouldn't feel this way.
Just letting the water flow?
Just letting the water flow, and trusting that, like a wave, the emotion will crest and then recede. Nothing stays forever. Not joy, not pain, not anything.
Have you ever stood at the edge of the ocean and watched a wave break and felt something inside you? Loosen.
Oh, all the time. It's like the wave is showing you how to let go. See? I build up all this energy, all this force, and then I just release. And it's okay. The ocean's still here.
That's kind of profound.
Water is profound, and it's doing this constantly, teaching us through metaphor, through sensation, through memory. We just have to pay attention.
What about stillness? Because water can be this crashing, powerful force, but it can also be completely still.
Yes, and that stillness is different from emptiness. A still lake isn't dead. There's life humming beneath the surface. That's what Stoic stillness is like, too.
Calm but not empty.
Right. We tend to think stillness means shutting down, going numb. But real stillness is alive. It's just quiet. It's presence without agitation.
So how do we cultivate that kind of stillness when everything around us is chaotic?
You find your way back to the water. Literally, if you can, go sit by a lake, stand by the ocean. But even metaphorically, you can ask yourself, where am I forcing movement when I could be still?
That's hard for me. Stillness feels like laziness.
Because we've been conditioned to equate productivity with worth, but water teaches us that rest is part of the cycle. Even rivers have eddies, places where water pools and rests before rejoining the current.
So I'm not stagnating, I'm just eddying?
Yes, you're eddying. I love that. Resting doesn't mean you've stopped moving forward. It means you're gathering energy for the next phase of flow.
Okay, but what if I'm stuck? Genuinely stuck. The water isn't flowing at all.
Then you're probably ice. And that's okay too. Ice is still water, just in a different state. Sometimes we need to freeze for a while. Pause, solidify. The warmth will come and will melt again.
I never thought about ice being part of water's wisdom.
Everything water does is part of its wisdom. Vapor rising, rain falling, snow drifting, ice cracking, rivers flowing, oceans surging. It's all the same substance in different expressions.
So maybe I don't need to force myself to always be flowing. Sometimes it's okay to be in a different state.
Exactly. The Stoics weren't about forcing yourself into one mode. They were about accepting reality as it is. If you're ice right now, be ice. Don't beat yourself up for not being a river.
That's really helpful, actually.
Good. Because here's the secret. You can't permanently be ice. The temperature will change. Conditions will shift. Water always returns to flow eventually.
So I can trust the process.
You can trust the process, just like water trusts gravity, trusts the cycle, trusts that winter becomes spring. You don't need to force it. You just need to allow it.
Let's bring this together. What are the key lessons water teaches us from a Stoic perspective?
First, adapt without resistance. Find the path of least resistance, but don't mistake that for passivity. Water is soft and persistent, both at once.
Okay, second.
Let emotions flow through you. Cry when you need to. Feel what you feel. But don't dam it up inside. Let it move. Let it release. Let it return to the ocean.
Third?
Trust the cycle. You're not always going to be in flow state. Sometimes you're vapor, sometimes you're ice. All states are temporary, all states are valid. The cycle continues.
And fourth?
Remember that stillness isn't emptiness. You can be calm and alive, present without being agitated. Deep water isn't dead water, it's just peaceful.
This is making me want to go sit by water for a while.
You should. There's a reason humans have always been drawn to water. It's not just beautiful, it's teaching us something essential about how to live.
The river doesn't apologize for changing course.
No, it doesn't. And neither should you. When life demands you adapt, when circumstances shift, when you need to find a new path, that's not failure. That's flow.
That's flow. I like that.
And here's the beautiful part. The current knows the way. You don't have to figure everything out. Sometimes you just need to stop fighting and let yourself be carried.
That sounds terrifying and liberating in equal measure.
Most profound truths are terrifying because they require surrender, liberating because they free you from the exhaustion of constant control.
So when I'm struggling, when I'm fighting the current, the question isn't, how do I fight harder? It's, what if I stopped fighting?
Yes. What if you trusted that where the current is taking you is where you need to go, even if you can't see it yet, even if it's not where you planned?
Stoics were big on this, weren't they? Amor fati, love of fate.
Exactly. Not just accepting what comes, but embracing it. The river doesn't resent the landscape. It works with it. That's amor fati in action.
Okay, so practical advice for someone listening who feels stuck or struggling. What's one thing they can do?
Find water. Physically go to it if you can. A river, lake, ocean, even a fountain in a park. Just sit with it. Watch how it moves. Let it teach you.
And if they can't get to water?
Then remember, you are water. Take a shower and really feel it. Let it wash over you. Imagine your stress, your tension, your worry flowing down the drain with the water.
That's actually really practical.
The best Stoic wisdom always is. It's not abstract philosophy. It's embodied practice. You can start right now with the water in your own home.
Thanks for exploring the element of water with us today. If this resonated, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear about flow.
Until next time, be like water. Adapt without resistance, flow without force, and trust that the current is carrying you exactly where you need to go.
The Stoic Compass radio show is made possible by voxcrea.ai, where ideas come to life.